those of you who got an invite, welcome to Nerd Prom.
No matter where in the world you are, we're all Nerds International. With the hyphen.
Alright, YouTube, it's Mr. Mean coming at you from very gloomy, bummered out Beaumont, Texas. That's right, I got another video du jour for you today. Today's video du jour is going to be Zombie Squad. Now, a quick disclaimer, Mr. James Gantry from Feral Games Inc. did send me this as a review copy, so I did not pay for this. But as always, my reviews try to be honest, forthwith, and forthcoming. I don't give it bias just because they sent me a free copy. James reached out to me about a month ago and said, "Hey, I got a game I'd like you to review. I'm sending you a copy in the mail." I sent him my address, and boom, I got this in the mail. Now, James is in merry old England, if I remember correctly. And this is what I got the other day in the mail. I've been reading it over the last couple of days. I haven't had a chance to run it. I really wanted to run it for my group, but we are in the midst of a Dragon Age campaign, and we are really, really enjoying it. But this is Zombie Squad, or The Zombie Squad, and that's a bitchin' cover. So it's softback. I think it retails for $20. You can get it on Drive-Thru RPG. You can ask your favorite game store to order you a copy. Get it. It's fun. That's the first and foremost thing I'm going to say. If you just want a quick one-shot game where you go around and you kick ass and you take names, this is the game. Very simple D20 system. Roll equal or above the target number. Or your skill. It's a stat and a skill, plus or minus modifiers, plus a d20. You want to get above a certain number. Boom, there you go. But I wanted to read the back because to me this is kind of funny, and I like games that don't take themselves so seriously all the time. You know, we play a lot of deep, dark video games. You know, The Dark Eye is a very serious game. It's one of my all-time favorites. Dragon Age is very dark. Of course, Warhammer or Zweihander, those are all very dark RPGs. Of course, all the Vampire Masquerade, the World of Darkness games, it's in their name. So I always like it when a game takes itself kind of lightly, and this one kind of seems to do that. So the back is, you were on death row for crimes against humanity. Then on the day of your execution, you were given a choice. Face the firing squad or join the most badass military unit in the world. You chose the Zombie Squad. And it's highlighted in yellow in the back, which, I don't know, it just strikes me as funny. This is a game where every mission is a roll of the dice, literally, where you get to those places considered taboo by others, where you get to face the fear and then shoot it. This game is with dogfights in space, bug hunts on alien planets, the discovery of lost ancient races mixed with gunfights and bad language. This is a sci-fi game that takes the dirty dozen and throws them screaming into a vast and alien galaxy. Inside the director's cut, you will find new and improved rules, great new artwork, rules for controlling machines with your mind, rules to create cyborg characters from the remains of other characters. That right there is gold. A bunch of alien races, a bunch of alien threats, overview of the Gamma Celia system, and much more. So lock and load, you have a job to do and a galaxy of danger to discover. So the game starts out with just a little bit of fiction. Actually, it starts out with a comic book, which I will say is pretty good. The art is fair. I like it. It's very cartoony. You know, that 80s comic book art, which really, I don't know, it speaks to me, you know, to my grognard in me. There's a good chunk of fiction, and then we get into the very first part of character creation. The beginning stuff, what is Zombie Squad, what it isn't, what is an RPG, and under what is an RPG, it just says, really? Question mark? I mean, let's face it, most of us know what an RPG is. Even in this day of mainstream media and social media news where everything is out in the open, Critical Role has done, oodles and wonders for RPG community. Everybody knows what a role-playing game is now, or at least they have an idea of what it is. Maybe not how to play one necessarily, or what it's all about, but they know Dungeons and Dragons and Critical Role and Crit Role and you know, all Crit Juice and all the other YouTubers out there that are doing their thing. So anyway, Chapter 2 goes into character creation, and you have to choose how you're going to die and what your murder was, whether you committed it or not. You were framed for it, and now you're going to swing. And by swing, I mean the gallows. But you get to choose your method, and they actually have it's a D6 roll. So your options are firing squad, hanging, lethal injection, beheading, spaced, or decompression. None of them sound great, to be honest. And then, of course, there's an option down here where you can choose what your crime was: murder, treason, desertion, espionage, or grand theft. This game is in the future. It's in a different space galaxy. It makes no qualms about this is Earth, and these are, you know, the voyages of, you know, a ship that won't be named. This is a down and dirty bug fight, monster fight, alien fight. You can run it as serious as you want. You can run it as campy as you want. It really takes itself tongue-in-cheek. It goes into it. It's not super tongue-in-cheek, don't get me wrong. This is not like a goofy game. You can play this game very seriously if you so desire. You can play it very dark. But I think I'd like to go with a little bit more of the campiness. It strikes me that way. Kind of a fine mix between teenagers in outer space and any good sci-fi RPG, Star Trek, or, you know, whatever. I'd like to add a little campiness into it. That's me. And then it goes into character creation, goes into the rules, and then of course the rest of the book is full of fluff and aliens and guns, monsters, little scenario tidbits. The equipment, the art is quite nicely done. It definitely gives you a feel for it. You definitely get an idea. Here's some of the, like I was saying, that cartoon art. And the art is very consistent throughout the book. We get our factions. Let's see if I can open the book up. Obviously, you can tell where I was reading. You can see all your factions there. Some of them. Just to go through them. Military careers, you got Colonial Rangers, Psy-Ops, which is if you want your psychic powers and make people's heads explode. That's the guys for you. The HDF, or the Hub Defense Force. The HMISC, which is the Hub Military Intelligence Security Command. HNEC, Hub Naval and Exploratory Command. And then the Legion. And that's basically your ground pounders of the hub. So, and each one of these gives you certain stuff. You get a tag. Like if you do with the Colonial Rangers, you get a nose for stuff. You can choose a specialization: environment, trickster, or excuse me, environment, tracker, or recon. And then you have either uncommon gear, trademark weapon, or cyber implant, MKT. Cyber implant Mark 1, which is the beginning. And then, of course, whichever faction you join, it gives you other abilities. And then you have a military event table. You have your rank, depending on how many years you spend. And then rank, depending on how long you go in that said rank, you get some benefits. Like a private first class, you get +1 physical. Corporal, you get a second specialization, so on and so forth. The stats I thought were pretty cool because it's not your traditional attributes like you would have in a lot of other games. Sorry, my hair is beating the hell out of me. You have cognitive, movement, physical, social, and willpower. So it's a different thing. And then those rank from 1 to 4 as a beginning character. And then you get skills and tags and like talents almost. And you go from there. You can be a cyborg. I mean, this, like I said, this game goes nuts. The gear in here is pretty solid. There's lots of cool charts. They are laid out really well. I gotta say, this is a small press company. Feral Games Inc. is a small press. I think it's 1 or 2 guys. Let's look in here real quick. Concept design was Feral Games Inc. The main artist was Rob Last. Rob, great job on the art. You really did a good job of bringing the feel of the game across. Other artists were Russell Goh and John Gibbons. You guys did a bang-up job as well. Rob Last did the cover, which totally rocks. He also did the comic strip that's in here. That's pretty much it. Feral Games. James Gantry doesn't put his name inside here, which I think is kind of cool. It's Feral Games Inc. I did talk to James late last week, and one of the things he does is if you go to their website, feralgamesinc.com, they make it a point to tell you right up front that there's a lot of great small games out there, and their job is to bring those games to you. So if you're a small games publisher, designer, and you want help getting your game made or pushed out into the mainstream media, contact them. That's what they're for. In fact, I did a review for Bloody Quest a month or so back, and Tony reached out to me and was like, "Hey, man, you know anybody in the publishing industry?" And I know a couple people, and so I kind of turned them to them. And then I was actually talking with James, and I mentioned about Bloody Quest, and he said he downloaded it, and he was looking at it, and he thought it was pretty cool. So I said, "Hey, Tony's looking for somebody to help him with his game," and James said, "Hey, send him my way." So I sent an email to Tony saying, "Hey, reach out to this guy; he might be able to help you." So hopefully something cool comes from that, and we'll go from there. I'd like to see small guys get a break every now and then, because like I've said many times in the past, it takes a lot of chutzpah to put your heart and soul into something and put it out there for people like me to consume it, and there will be a plethora of people, I have no doubt, that'll go, "Oh, this is garbage, this is shit." That's fine. Everybody's entitled to an opinion, and but I think let those people that are the naysayers, let them put out a role-playing game. And let's see how they take the criticism. James was, I remember I told him I got the copy, and he said, "Be kind when you do your review." Brother, I don't have to be kind. You got a bang-on hit here. This is a great little game. Is it a beer and pretzels game? Sure. Can it be a serious campaign? Sure. Is it up there with the likes of Nemesis for Savage Worlds? Definitely. And either or can supplement the other. I think this system is pretty easy. It's reminiscent of a D20 system with some minor changes, but very close. And I'd like to see more from them. I'd like to see an expansion for this. There may already be an expansion. I'm not aware of it, though. But it was very cool. It's a softback book. This is the director's cut. I guess there's a different version. I did see that there was, I think, 2 different versions on drive-thru. One has a different cover. I personally like this cover. I just like the fact that it sticks out. When you see this in your game shop, you're going to pick it up because you're going to be like, "What the hell is it?" And of course it says in neon yellow on the back, Zombie Squad Deluxe. And it's very cool. One of the sick things for this game is if one of your squad mates goes down, you can actually retrieve his parts to make yourself better, make yourself a cyborg or whatever. So it's jacked up, and I like jacked up games. But it's in the realm of possibility. It's very sci-fi, very hardcore science fiction. But then again, you've got the opposite of the psychic powers in here. So, you want to play that Rico's Marauders. What was it? Roughnecks. The Bugs. Can't think of it. Do you want to know more? And can't think of the name of it now. But anyway, that movie, you could play this easily. There's awesome, cool stats in here for all your xenomorphs and your xenocreeper, all your different. They give you some, non-deadly races, all kinds of things. I mean, it's pretty solid. They give you some NPCs, some good ones and some bad ones. Give you some alien races to work with and to interact with if you so wanted to, which I think is super cool. You can't go wrong with that kind of stuff. Again, super cheap. It's up on Drive-Thru RPG. I got a couple different various options for printing it. You can buy it as a PDF. You're helping out a small company, which is always cool. And it's a cool game. I'm going to try to run a one-shot for my friends, maybe even on a Saturday at my local meetup. We have a new meetup group, and they like people to come in and run games to attract more people. So I've been running a lot of Modifius stuff lately, but I'd take a break and probably run this. I did download on Drive-Thru RPG. They have their pre-gens up, so you can download those. And that would go a long way to getting people into the game, because then you just dive right in. And I mean, everybody knows sci-fi, everybody knows aliens and all that stuff. So it shouldn't be a far stretch for anybody to dive right into this and start playing. I'm really looking forward to at least giving it a one shot, and seeing if my players like it, which I know they will, because my players are pretty eager beavers to try anything. As they like games. That's why we do this. So kudos to the guys over at Feral Games Inc. I think they knocked it out of the park. It doesn't take itself too seriously. It's well written. I like the layout. Kind of like that green background. I guess James was saying that was kind of an after effect of InDesign when he was doing it. But it works. I mean, it fits with the art. It's laid out really well. It's concise. You don't have to flip through the book. If you get the PDF, you can always print off those weapon tables and or the alien sections, and you don't even have to keep the book by your hand, because this game I think is pretty easy to run. Right out for a GM like me, that I'm very off the cuff. I don't run a lot of pre-scripted adventures. This is my kind of game, because it leaves me open to just go gonzo, and I like gonzo. So I just wanted to do a quick review. I told James I would try to get this out. I appreciate them sending me a review copy, and trust me, if it was garbage, I would have said it was garbage. I think it's a fun little game. I think if you're normally playing D&D or Pathfinder and half your group doesn't show, you break this out, you can whip up characters in 10 minutes, and you guys can get to playing. Especially if you download the pre-gens, you don't even have to make characters. You just hand everybody a sheet and you go on a bug hunt, and boom, you're good to go. So like I said, I think it's well done. It reads well. It's a very easy read. The fiction in it is well done. Of course, the art is consistent throughout it. The artists all had the same flavor, the same theme in their art, which I like. That's important to me. And so I like it. I think it's a cool little game. Do yourself a favor and spend the roughly $20 and get yourself a copy, whether it's hard softback or PDF. I don't think you're going to go wrong with it. Just I wouldn't buy the PDF and try to print it out unless you set your printer to black and white, because the color is going to kill you. I don't know if they're planning on releasing a black and white printer friendly version. If they haven't, that would be cool if they did. But no big deal either way, because most of us have printers that we can set to print black and white. As always, any questions, comments, or concerns, constructive criticism, kudos, hit the comments below. Hit that bell to be dinged when I dong. And what that means is there's a little bell there in the upper right-hand corner that when I post new content, it will notify you. That helps me out a lot, keeps the channel going. And as always, Mr. Mean always says, peace and hair grease. And remember, be nice.